this way ever since I remember, and it ain't gonna change. So I don't care what them people say. I will forever be this way. I will forever be this way.
The Egyptian state was born when the king of Upper Egypt defeated the king of Lower Egypt, when the king of the south defeated the king of the north. Except that's a made-up story and it never happened. In fact, none of the sites dating from the pre-dynastic period of Egypt has turned up evidence of even a small army. It should be noted that neither the Narmer palette or the scorpion mace head features a pharaonic image of an identifiable Lower Egyptian king, because there was no such thing as a Lower Egyptian king. The only people featuring identifiable pharaonic regalia on these artifacts are Narmer and Scorpion themselves. Southern Egyptian kings. Northern Egypt in the pre-dynastic period doesn't present to us any evidence of any actual kingdom that ever existed there. You guys know they've been telling us for years that the birth of Egypt was the Lower Egyptian kingdom was defeated by the Upper Egyptian kingdom, and then it became one Egypt. But that's nothing more than a fantasy story. I don't even know why they keep saying that, because it never happened. Let's take Maadi, for instance, and Minshat Abu Omar in the East Delta. Both of these were contemporary to Dynasty 0 in the south of Egypt. All right? These are northern places contemporary to Dynasty 0 down south. You see what it says right here, where Burns writes that the Delta had regionally characteristic features, but there are no signs of an evolving elitist state-based organization. Those kinds of artifacts and that kind of evidence is featured in the South.
I've been looking this way.
A hereditary elite exercising authority on a regional basis. Dynasty 0, pre-dynastic period before Dynasty 0, what we see is the state evolving, the state regalia, everything that we associate with early actual Egyptian culture was originating in the south. The symbols of power. These were shared by so-called early Nubians and so-called early Egyptians, because these two entities were from the same technoplex, while the north became a part of that technoplex in a much more deeper fashion a little later. So this gives us a little bit of perspective when you notice that the Eurocentrics are always focusing on northern Egypt, even in pre-dynastic period, because they want the Egyptian kingdom to have been born somewhere, close to Palestine. Let's face it. But it did not. It was born in the south. The south took over the north. The north had its own thing going. The pottery there was even lower quality. All right. Now, if any symbols were taken from the north and added to the south, then so be it. But we know that the power came from the south, and that there was no such thing as a northern Egyptian king in pre-dynastic times. There was no kingdom there. They had no army, and any sort of metal tools found there were usually used for stuff that they needed. It wasn't like they were building a bunch of swords to go around taking over kingdoms, or they were fighting with each other. So let's remember all that the next time they come up with another fantasy story about how the Egyptian kingdom was born. Until next time.